What is up guys, my name is Kevin and today we're back with another video to the King of the Hill channel. Today we're looking at a series between the well-known Smurfblade against the other well-known Alliswell. It's a series back from, I don't know, season 14 probably. As the starting map is Inkblot instead of Hydro Dam. But we had some series which should be commentated a couple of years back but weren't commentated. And since I have spare time, I might as well commentate one of these videos. So both players starting off with a mortar on the position where most people are usually placing their mortar, and seems like Smurfblade is it looks like Smurfblade wanted to stall that round with his mortar. Not sure if that was indeed the intention, but I think it doesn't really matter. Maybe like a couple of seconds, which will make you a league a bit less on round 4, but it's not a huge deal. Both players also placing their ninja on the back, like in the middle of the map, which I think is a great spot. It catches leagues better than when you place your ninja closer to the tech sprayer, which used to be the spot I believe where people put their ninjas, which I still think it works, but this one probably works just a bit better. So round 4 coming in, both players probably having a 2-0 tech sprayer. Smurf has a 3-1, I can see based on the range, and I'm not sure if Alice has, but I assume Alice also has the 3-1 tech sprayer, because on the left side I think you have to, and on the right side you could create with it, but not recommended. Not recommended. You could do it, but I prefer to have higher lives, because that makes you less vulnerable to stupid rushes around 15, for example, and 18. So the usual stuff. Smurf is a bit down on lives, so for round 4 what I would recommend you to do is I would recommend to use your mortar and aim it at the pink balloons, so you have a kind of a bit of micro, instead of leaving it in the same spot for the whole time, which Smurf is actually doing, and it seems to work quite effective. Maybe not for the first few pink balloons, but still. Round 6 coming, so both players are probably gonna sell defense. Okay, Smurf's going for the black balloons, which is forcing Alice to instantly get up his ring of fire, and Smurf's hold his defense without waiting for Alice to send actually black balloons to force him to rush. So Smurf and Alice having similar lives, only a small. Smurf is only down 4 lives. Alice placing the farm right now, and Smurf is gonna afford the next eco boost. So, as usual, kind of a similar gameplay, because the meta is kind of the same. Honestly, one thing which could have changed is that Alice might have started off with a farm, go for 330 economy, and then go for farms. I'm not sure if many players still do that, and whether or not Alice still does that. Yes, sorry if you hear some background noises. I'm drinking tea while commentating this. So yeah, Alice, we can see, is just a little bit ahead with the farming. So nothing really special happening. What you usually do is you go up to like 400 economy, then you just keep farming. You probably can get 3 banana plantations and then still afford your mortar for around 12. And that's because I presume that Inkblot is actually kind of a bit larger than Zen Garden, and rounds are actually a bit longer on this one, so you can actually get more farms here than on a short map as Zen Garden. At least I personally cannot get, or because you don't need a ninja for around 10 and 11 here. But yeah, there we go. Smurfblade actually not deciding to go for the second 1-0 farm. I'm not sure why. I think he's easily able to afford. There we go. Both players have the signal flare up, and because they both have high amount of lives, I don't think either player is going to send space camo pinks. They could send space camo pinks, because that's going to make your opponent leak some lives. It's a very expensive rush, so it's very situational, and probably only if you're like Vivo, who wants to go for around 15 rushes or something like that. Like if your intention is not going late game. and then you could do that. So both players, Alice actually decided to go for a plantation, where Smurf has 2-1-0 farms. I would definitely agree with Smurf's play, because Alice is forced to sell a banana plantation if Smurf was to rush with a ceramics. Alice sending one rush of one ceramic, Smurf reacting to that by not getting up his Bloons issue, which is a smart move. And there we go. That was a 300 waste by Alice. Smurf's going to send a counter ceramic, and Alice is also not going to react to that. We see a distraction, but actually Alice leaked right there. Okay, that was based on the... Oh, okay. Random Skype call. Based on the way Alice reacted with his mortar, it was to be expected that he was going to leak a couple of lives. So Alice actually still taking the lead with the farms, being the bit greedy player right here. Not much to say. Round 18 is coming up, so we'll either go for a Moab. That's probably going to be the next interesting play in this game. Both players actually have great farms. And I don't see a greedy move. Will they actually extend their farms right now? No, looks like not. Smurf's going to place a tech shooter and is actually also getting it up to a balloon sprayer, whereas Alice is going to get another farm. Let me count actually. Okay, yeah, indeed, Alice is up in farms by placing that farm. So no rushes. Alice also getting up the tech sprayer and actually the balloon situ. Both players actually getting the balloon situ ready right now. So we don't see actually very greedy plays right over here. Yeah, you could play very greedy and then just go for a couple of more plantations, and then for round 19, and then during the end of round 19 you could get up your balloon situ, or you could leave your 3-2 ninja, leaves you very vulnerable to a rush. But then you can get up your 3-2 farm or 3-0 farm, just what you prefer, up for round 20. So Alice actually extending his farms, having a bit more plantations than Smurf does, but Smurf getting up the banana plantation earlier than Alice. So if I remember correctly, then plantations actually pay off in about 2.5 rounds. I believe the exact number was either I thought 3.9 rounds. So if you're going to get your factory up just before round 23, you might as well get more plantations at the end of round 19. However, you of course also need to get at that Republic, so I would recommend getting the Republic and round 19. Okay, so yeah, Alice having a bit more farms than Smurf, both similar defenses, and it's just a question, will either of the players go for a ZMG rush right now? It doesn't look like so. Maybe a sneaky no, both selling farms, both getting up the Republic. And it looks like Smurf actually did not sell farms, so... And he got a 4-2. He got a 4-2 because we could see that the crates actually gave him $450. So the infrastructure for AI, I would agree with Smurf's play, because Smurf did spend less money on defense, getting up only a 3-2 ninja and 3 tech sprayers, and then with balloon situ, whereas Alice got 2 balloon situs and 2 sprayers, which is definitely more expensive. So far, Smurf's ahead in the farms, and still no rush. So this might go late game, and for round 25 you can actually defend with this defense. That's because the first Moab is not layered actually with balloons, so your balloon situs your ninjas have an easy time distracting the balloons, and then the ceramics actually, they kind of overwhelm your defense, but they can just barely hold off the ninjas, and then there's some gap between the ceramics and the Moab. So once the balloons are cleared up, then you will see that there we go, more BRFs. Then you will see that the ninjas can freely aim at a Moab again, making it an easy defend. You can see it right in Smurfblade actually going for a second balloon situ. Actually a good play, because we can see that it was kind of the overlap between the Moab and the ninjas being overrun by the ceramics overlapped a little bit, So for round 26 I think you should get 2 extra sprayers. And Smurf's getting them actually in a position where I think they are not quite effective against the AI balloons. But he does not need to buy extra balloon tech sprayers for the late game, which is probably also a good move. So Alice getting 3 balloon switches, whereas Smurf seems to hang with the sprayers and deciding to only have an extra 3 to Ninja. So Smurf having no farms left, only the BRFs, whereas Alice still has a couple of plantations. I almost regret saying that, not sure what it was about. So yeah, Smurf's definitely up in the farms, but I think it's actually kind of nice to have some 2-0 farms, just because 2-0 farms give you also money, but they don't. It doesn't force you to actually sell a BRF to get money. Yes, the Republic, but not sure. But actually, Smurf's going for the ZOMG rush, so that's forcing Alice to spend already money on defense right now, getting up the Sabo, immediately Saboing at 35 seconds. So Alice has to Sabo again at 15 seconds if actually the ZOMG breaks or Smurf is deciding to send more. So Alice going to get up his tech sprays. I think tech spray spam is very effective against ZOMGs, and I would definitely recommend that. Smurf getting the 0-0 techs ready to be used once Alice decides to send a rush back. Alice not having a lot of sprayers actually for the ZOMG, and actually looks like Alice is going to fully defend this with Bloons Issues, getting Bloons Issues in the spot where I would personally go for Maelstroms. I was going for a lot of Bloons Issues actually. And here we see the counter, both sending out at ZOMG at round 30, appearing in round 31, so it will have the speed and life buffs of 31. So Smurf should get up his sprays right now, because the ZOMG is in range, is exactly what I'm doing. When we're looking at Alice's side, we can see that Alice broke down the ZOMG layer with a lot of Bloons Issues. Will he actually try to not go for Maelstroms? Because that would be an interesting play. I don't think that's effective. Alice solo BRF going for the Mortar Stall. Looks like that might be able to defend, going for a Sabo. Might Alice die to the Sabo glitch? No, he's going for another normal Mortar Stall, which is going to help be quite effective. On the other hand, Smurf's ZOMG actually is half damage. No, it's always almost popped. Smurf going for another ZOMG. The Alice still does not have any sprayers left. So will Smurf get a Sabo glitch, or will he Sabo in time? He Sabos in time. So it's just waiting to see how Smurf is going to defend. Alice actually sending some BFBs, and also the AI Moabs are getting in the way. Interesting so far, because Alice does have more Bloons Issues than Smurf does. Smurf going for the Mortar Stall right now. He could go for sprayers, but I don't see. No, not sprayers, Maelstrom, but I don't see him doing that. So Alice is not going to break the ZOMG soon, where Smurf is going to have to defend these BFBs for sure. If he defends them, then it's up to Alice to defend that. The ZOMG is almost damaged, almost broken down to BFBs on Alice's side. And for Smurf, it's not looking very good at all. There's a lot of blues on the screen, and the mobs actually passing. I see a Sabo glitch by one of the mobs on Smurf's side. So this is going to be very difficult. Smurf actually leaking right now, so he has to stall quite effectively. Still those Sabo glitch mobs, and Alice actually broke down the ZOMG layer right now, so it's going to be intense. Will Smurf defend? Because if Smurf defends, then we can see that Smurf also sent BFBs, which are going to be very problematic for Alice. We are still not at round 46, so that round 45 the camos will actually get in the way. Smurf leaking a bit of life right over there, and actually died 2. So that's kind of the problem. I assume that Smurf got a Sabo glitch. It was very annoying because the balloons got very far, and the thing is, when the balloons pass your ninjas, you also have less chance that it will actually distract the balloons. So let's say I place the ninjas more to the left, and they shoot the shurikens inside the balloons, then it's easier for them to distract. And if it doesn't distract, then you still kill the balloons, so they actually aren't getting that easily towards the exit, Whereas if you place the ninjas more to the right, so where Smurf had his ninjas, because at the start of the round you want, at the start of the rush, you want to hit the ZMGs very early, and therefore at the end, but more towards the end, those ninjas have a small chance to actually distract and kill the balloons you want to kill, because you want the first balloons to be destroyed and not some blimps at the back, because the blimps at the back aren't going to be the first ones to leak. So it was kind of unfortunate. Both players still had a lot of BRFs to actually be able to defend probably that CMG they both sent out, and it would be interesting to see how that game actually would play out. But nothing more to say about this game, so let's move on to the second game. And the second game, so let's move on to the second game. So getting into the second game, we are looking at Water Hazard, and Smurfblade has chosen this map, and I'm honestly not sure why. Water Hazard is, in my opinion, a very odd map. I would say it's easy to know of loss because it's long, but then I would be lying, because actually round 4 can be kind of weird. Round 5 can also be kind of weird because you can randomly leak with black balloons, or black balloons appear around 6 and stuff. But well, a good thing for Smurf is that Alice actually seems to go for farms and Smurf is going balloon income. So that's kind of nice, because it's very hard to actually defend with or no life loss with farms. So I think Alice is just going to rush. Bomb gives you the ability to go for late game rush. So that's actually nice. You could also go for farm strategies without ninja, and then late game will be much harder, and possibly you're just going to rush before the AI MOAB. Say. So Alice is actually leaking right here, so that means that Alice doesn't need to rush Smurf, or just doesn't care at lives at all, and is going for the balloon income. So Smurf getting up 2 crepe shot boats. Gotta admit that I haven't played this map in ages, so I'm not really sure how to play this map anymore. Looks like Smurf got one of his crepe shots on strong and the other one on first. And it looks like it works out quite well, considering he's not leaking. And it looks like Alice just stopped sending pings when Smurf was about to change. Oh, it's actually working very well, this targeting. Oh, nice. I'm learning something, guys, today. So Alice deciding not to get his ninja up and going for the farm. Got no lives on Smurf. So I'm actually wondering if Alice is going for rushes on round 6 to get some lives to Smurf and get a life advantage and go for round 40. Highly doubt that. You never know with these players. So Smurf actually not having that the third Buccaneer up for round 4, which is going to give him a bit more economy, and going for the third Great Buccaneer right now. Alice going for the ninja to go to defend against the blacks. Smurf opening some random shit. Okay, Alice sending blacks. Will I get lives of Smurf? It looks like, okay, Smurf got up the grape shot boat just when Alice stopped sending those black balloons. So it's kind of unfortunate, because otherwise Smurf would be able to create more. Alice getting up the second ninja not to leak too much to the black balloons. With the red layering and then followed up with some blacks, the ninja might sometimes be missing some of the blacks because it's actually hitting the red balloons instead, and that's probably what forced Alice to go for that other ninja. So for round 8, it can be very, very dangerous, and people might go for region and yellow rushes. And for that, you probably need a burning stuff mortar. You might be able to get away with just a 1-1 mortar, or just a 1-0-1 mortar. But it looks like Alice is not going to punish that. Smurf going for more black balloons, and Alice got up a 1-1 ninja to deal with the black balloons, which sneak by and get past the first ninja due to layering. Because what Smurf's doing is sending some reds and 1 black, and then follow it up with yellow balloons, because those layer very effectively. So round 10 is coming. Will Alice decide to go for a rush right here? Smurf got up his burning stuff, so I don't think so. Smurf going for lead balloons, which is actually quite effective. Alice forced to get up the burning stuff mortar quite early. Not sure if that was necessary, but Alice seems to care a bit about lives. Leaking actually quite a lot to these lab balloons, leaking down to 100 lives. Smurf persisting with these zebra balloons. Seeing more leaks on Alice's side, he's going actually down to 80 lives, 77 lives, and Smurf is just chilling on his side and not deciding to get up attack. He's going to shoot attack right now. There it is. He upgraded the sprayer and is going to go for a ring of fire zoom. Alice leaking down to 70 lives, having 5 banana plantations up, and that's quite a lot. Not sure if Alice, he's not, it looks like he's not going for the rod and is getting up his 6th plantation right here. AI balloons are going to mix with the Chris Berry economy, and that might force some leaks on Alice. Doesn't look like so. So now the AI lets coming in. Smurf actually not sending balloons. Otherwise, Smurf could have exploited Alice for targeting his more at an more other place. So now Smurf is going for black balloons, which is very annoying when Alice is trying to micro his mortar for the AI lads. So Alice going for a balloon impact instead, and also got up the Republic, meaning that he's probably gonna save up and get... Whoa, Alice leaking down to 26 lives. Right there. See more leaks even, going down to 23 lives. So Alice got up the 42 bomb, which is probably gonna hold off against the economy very well. But that's a huge investment, and I'm not sure if it was even necessary. He could have probably gone up also some 2-1 ninjas to deal with the AI, get up another cluster bomb, get up even another Bernie stuff that might probably have been enough. So the question actually is, will Alice be able to get up that round 18 or round 19 factory? Because he got up Republic early and was probably aiming for around 18 facility. But yeah, due to the big investment and balloon impact, it might not be able to afford. Stop expecting around 18 rush. So Smurf's getting up a tech sprayer, and with just a couple of Grapeshot Buccaneers and maybe a Bloons TD Ninja, it's easy to defend. Alice not deciding to go for Moab Rush, which is a smart decision, because I think Smurfblade is well prepared. Actually held down that Buccaneer to get it up and ready as soon as the Moab came out. So round 19 might also be difficult for Alice, but I think his 4-2 bomb will handle. We don't know. Smurf with the Ring of Fire is set for AI, and it's just going to be we're just going to watch and look what is happening, because Alice actually, when will he go for a rush? Also not getting, he got actually up that facility round 20 without selling any farms. So more leaks, and now we get AI ceramics, which are going to be very difficult. Alice definitely needs to burn those balloons, because otherwise he needs something else. He is getting up a ninja. It's a 2-2, it's a 3-2 ninja, I suppose, or is it 3-0, 3-1? It's a 3-1 probably. Oh no, 3-0, 3-2. So confused. He got distraction because some of the balloons actually went back. And okay. Alice is leaking down to 3 lives right there. So that's gonna be very interesting, because apologize. Because that means that Alice is gonna have to play very safe with AI, and Smurfblade's actually he could easily exploit this by just sending some city rushes, making Alice probably overreact. So it's interesting to see what Smurf's actually gonna do. Is he going for a late game? Is it going late? Is Alice gonna rush? Smurfblade getting actually Grapeshot Buccaneers at the start of the map, because they were very effective against the AI Moabs. And Alice going for BFBs, it looks like those are fast cooldown. Smurfblade deciding to get up a Bloons TD to distract the AI ceramics. Alice holding off there with Bloon Assassin. So what Smurf actually gonna do is he's gonna hook all of those BFBs, because either way this is gonna be very expensive. He's going for another Sabo, selling as many towers which are possibly going to break down those BFBs. So now one BFB is almost broken down. Is he going to hook it right now? He should, because otherwise he will get mobs and needs to go for at least one Maelstrom, probably even more than that. He's going to stall it again using that Bloons TD ability, going for a lot of Buccaneers right now. Alice actually sold all of his farms, so these are all the BFBs Smurfblade has to defend. He's actually going for for the Maelstrom defend instead of the hooking defend, and that's quite interesting. So Alice assessing that mob from AIs, definitely going to get up Malus right now for the last one, and he also needs to get rid of the ceramics, but at the same time Smurfblade's actually going for that Maelstrom with the grain. That's interesting because it's very it's less effective than going with the grain, but he is forced to on this map. Alice got up this 0-3 Malus, so Smurf defended the first few BFBs. He's going to Sabu again. He definitely has high economy, so he might be able to pull this off, but there's still a lot of BFBs. Alice actually looks like he's going to die to the AI balloons. Does he has a backup ninja on the top, and at the same time Smurfblade is going for those Maelstroms, and he's very effectively Maelstrom. The AI mob might interfere, but the AI mob is defeated using some Maelstroms, so Smurfblade has to go for another Maelstrom. Alice having trouble with the ceramics on the other hand, and the BFBs are getting ready for, and I think they might soon be out of range of the grape shot, so it might mean the end of Smurfblade. Round 26, round 27 is coming, which is known as the Trico Death round. We all know that the AI of this round is very difficult. Smurfblade actually breaking down all of the BFB layers, going for more Maelstroms. Alice used the sabotage supply lines to get to Solus BFB, Solus Mortar, going for all-in camos. Smurfblade only has to do one more thing. He's going to stall that. Why is he doing that? He's going to Maelstrom again. He's getting a Sabo Glitch. He's going for a normal Mortar Soul. Looks like a few Mortar Soul mobs there, but Alice is going to die just before that, and that's going to be the GG. Nice defend by Smurfblade, Maelstroming and going for this Grave Shot Buccaneers. Oh, Alice actually holding off the round 27 quite effectively, but there he goes. Just dying on round 27. Impressive game overall, because Alice actually held on very long against those AI balloons, playing that like a madman. Smurfblade actually daring to go for those 1-1 Buccaneers and actually trying to defend with Maelstrom instead of hooking. Not sure if hooking would even be possible against that rush, because Smurf actually stalled that rush for very long. Wasn't expecting that, because he stalled it for so long that I expected him to actually go for the stalls instead, because you would be building up money over time, but actually he did not do that. Impressive overall. Again, impressive defend overall. Was interesting to see. I was not expecting that, honestly. But yeah, that was the game of Water Hazard. It's 1-1 with Smurfblade against Alliswell, and it's up to Alice to pick the second map. Getting into the third game, we're actually looking at what's it gonna be? Hydro Dam, with Alice on the left side and Smurfblade on the right side. Very interesting map. Both players starting off with these mortars, which means that they are both probably going to farm. Smurf doing some random trick shots, going to snipe that one single red balloon just for the intensity of leaking, and Alice is going to take those 3 leaks. No, he's microing his mortar, actually allowing himself to go for 2 leaks. We will never know. No, Alice no life losing that like a madman, because lives definitely matter on this map. I cannot emphasize enough how many lives you need, because Rod, like, I've seen people die to rods who had 140 lives, so if they just had 131 lives, then they would have survived, and that's the small details for this map which determine at the end if you're going to win or lose. So Alice actually going for that safety ninja, and Smurf does the same. Smurf and Alice both have the 2-1 ninjas very early, and is either going to leak to the round 4 rush, and Smurf sending out those pink balloons instantly. Alice being a little bit later. We see that they both have different ninja spots. Smurf and Alice both not getting up the 0-0 ninja. Smurf is getting it up at the same time as Alice, and Smurf is currently down in the lives, which is, well, as long as the life difference is not big, then Smurf is going to get away with this. But Alice is leaking a lot at the same time. Alice, whoa, these players are leaking a ton, and Smurf persisting with these pink balloons. A very interesting choice, because that's going to hurt his economy, but I think he just wants to get Alice in the same range of lives as he does. And we can see that Alice actually layering some of the blue balloons with pinks, which I think Smurf is handling quite well, microing his mortar. So Smurf still persisting with the pink balloons, and they are both no. Smurfblade going down to 90 lives, getting up the burning stuff mortar. Alice got up the burning stuff mortar as well, also down to 90 lives. And that means that we are gonna see a draw on Hydra. Oh, no, Alice leaking right there. So Smurf, I think that did he get a 1-2 mortar? Yeah, he got a 1-2 mortar because his mortar is consistently, the explosions are consistently at the same position. And looking at Alice's side, Alice probably got a 0. No, he probably also got a 1-3 mortar. Yes, due to the consistency. Because when you go for the 1-3 mortar, then you will burn all black balloons. And when all black balloons are burned, they are probably not going to leak because that ninja pops it to pinks, and then the pinks will be burned to yellows. Then the order ninja will damage the yellows. You have green balloons, those will be burned again, and your one ninja will also help. So yeah, Smurf and Alice having similar lives right now. We'll either play a go for that yellow rush because that's very classic. Alice getting up the ricochet early. Smurf probably going to exploit that by going for our early 1-3-1-0 banana plantation. Smurf still leaking a lot, going down to 60 lives, which means that Smurf will be very vulnerable for rushes past round 11, I'd say. And Alice still persisting with these blacks. I don't see any region whites or yellow balloons, which would force Smurf to get up his ricochet and probably even force him to go to leak some lives. Yeah, Alice stopped sending those black balloons as Smurf is getting up that ricochet. Okay, actually Smurf got up the ricochet after Alice stopped sending, probably for safety. So Smurf being up in farms by 1-1-0 farm, Alice going for the spaced zebras, which is a good decision because Smurf being low on lives has only a 2-1 ninja. Alice stopped quite early because it would force a ton of he is going to persist with the region rainbows. That's going to kill Smurf probably, or is it? No, Smurf leaking that to 10 lives. If Alice persisted with that rush or followed up with an all-out camel pink rush, it would have been much worse for Smurf. Oh, here's the all-out rush coming. What will Smurf do? Smurf is going for the turbocharge. Alice going for the camel pinks. Can Smurf micro this in time? And he is gonna die before Alice actually died to the AI balloons. Very well played by Alice, getting him very low in lives. Smurf not getting up the ricochet. Yeah, with 10 lives, you're definitely not in a solid position to defend a region rainbow rush followed up with camos. Although Smurf did a good job, but still it's very risky and very difficult to pull off. Not much to say. Game could have been ended earlier by Alice at the zoo. Alice just taking that game, very well played on Hydro Dam. Nothing more to comment about, and let's just get into the fourth game. So getting into the fourth game, again looking at a loading screen, and what will be the fourth game be? Ice Flow. Classic pick by Smurfblade. And Alice starting off with an Ice Tower, so this is gonna be a very interesting game where we see two different strategies. What more to say, the score is actually 2-1 for Alice. Alice beating Smurf on Inkblood and on Hydro Dam, whereas Smurf beat Alice on Water Hazard. Or is it Hazard? I don't know. That's where my Dutch pronunciation comes in. So some banter going on in the chat. We can see that Alice is actually, as I said, going for that Ice Tower, which means that Alice not aiming for a late game, but instead is going to be the very aggressive player, which has a lot higher economy and will probably go for some rushes before round 22. I wonder what Alice's other towers will be, whether he has ninja or whether he has bomb of both. I mean, because it doesn't really matter. Without ninja you can go late game, and without both you're in a probably better position. You could go late game, but you will most likely lose to a counter, so not recommended at all. What's Alice gonna do? Because Smurf is only 2 Grape Shot Buccaneers. If Alice sends some pinks, then he might force Smurf to get up another boat, but I think that sending pinks is a bad decision because that will hurt your economy. So Smurf and Alice are both going to have high economy at around 6, that's for sure. Alice with the Ice Tower is probably going to send a large green rush for around 6, which might force some lives of Smurf, but probably not causing any significant damage. So yeah, it's basically waiting until like around 8 when we will see the interesting rushes coming up, when we see which tower Alice actually has, whether he has the Ninja or the Buccaneer, and Alice holding over those two Ice Towers. Smart decision from Smurf to go for some pinks. He did some pinks earlier, but I did not mention, because that's definitely going to force a second Ice Tower. One Ice Tower can unfortunately not solo this map, which is probably even also a good thing, because that would make Ice very OP, or sort of OP. Smurf going for that very early Grape Shot Buccaneer. You can see that he kind of struggles. He's going to take some leaks right here because there's no AI. Smurf is a bit lucky because that would force more leaves of him. He makes his one Buccaneer target the first balloons, which I'm not sure if that's a good decision, because that will cause that Buccaneer to whiff. Smurf going down to 120 lives and probably even leaking more, getting up that mortal right now. Alice going for the black balloons, which are probably not going to do cause significant damage, because I can see that Smurf got those two Buccaneers on last, which will not chase, and without layering that's going to be more than enough. Smurf getting up the burning stuff mortar very early, Alice only having a 0-0 mortar, which is 705 50 money. Smurf not going for white balloons, probably Alice can migrate out unless Smurf is going for region whites, which in that case Alice will reveal his third or fourth tower. As we see only 2 towers, so probably the third, but I'm assuming that Alice just has tag. So Smurf and having that 1-2 mortar actually being very defensive right here, which is probably a good decision because you don't need a lot of economy to defend. It's better to keep the high lives, so you have more lives to you have more spare lives for large rushes like region rainbow rushes or ceramic rushes. Alice revealing his 4th tower, which is the boat Buccaneer. Smurf going for ice, and oh, this is gonna be problematic for Alice because of the AI balloons mixing in, and burn balloons I think are difficult for the ice towers to actually whoa, what's going on? Alice going for the 2-2 mortar, 2-3 mortar. But yeah, burn balloons actually, when frozen balloons are damaged due to being burned, then they will be unfrozen, and that's actually very that's risky with the ice towers, because it might cause with untimed ice very many leaks. So Smurf getting up the 3-0 tech sprayer. Nothing unusual. Smurf actually trying to greed this out a bit. Alice saying that he has a 1k eco and is going to leak, I think, a lot to this. Alice also has the tech shooter, by the way, so I'm wondering when Alice is going to get up the ring fight. Smurf actually got it because of the AI lads, which might be problematic. Yeah, if you want to play it really greedy, you might maybe even get an extra Buccaneer and make it target last, because you can probably held off against space rainbows very easily then. But yeah, these are just some greeting tricks. I would prefer just to go for the 3 Buccaneers, get a ring of fire, be safe against strategies like these, because you know you cannot go late game, and therefore you're kind of fine. So Alice actually having those ice towers still at the front of the map. I'm not sure if it might have been a better decision to just sell those ice towers and go for more economy, because Smurf is definitely having a high economy as well. Yeah, nothing more to say. As I mentioned already 1,000 times, this is definitely not going late game. So the possibilities for Alice to go for some cool rushes are becoming smaller and smaller. Round 18, next rushing round, 1.5k. Economy, which Smurf says it has 1.3k. I'm not sure, 1.5k is actually kind of decent, because then you could almost send infinite Moabs, which is a solid rush. Okay, Alice got 1.6k, and is he actually also going for that round 18 rush? So Smurf getting up 5 grape shots and 1 tech sprayer. Alice stopping to send eco right now, so there come the spaced, okay, the spaced rainbows kicking in. So Alice still having those ice towers. I'm surprised. I'm not sure why he did it, whether it's a mistake or whether it's part of the strategy. Like if it's a very useful cleanup tower, I honestly don't know. So Smurf he got 1-1 Buccaneers. I don't know if that was an accident or if that's part of the strategy. I think 1-1 Buccaneers is actually quite very helpful. So Alice has 2k economy, but now he needs to spend all that economy into a rush. And Smurf is well prepared, so I guess here we come, round 20, fast cooldown or BFBs. What's coming? Oh, Alice pointing his mortar to the... Oh. We see a camo exploit. And well done, Alice. Camo exploit, getting 5 lives off Smurf. So now we have the AI balloons, which are also camo. So there's another camo exploit, a small one, which doesn't do a lot. Oh, we see Alice leak. Yes, he definitely leaked there and being even lower on lives, but still it doesn't really matter because we're now round 22. What's Alice gonna do? I'm gonna rush now. Are the BFBs coming or is the ZOMG? What's coming? I'm surprised. I've never seen a ZOMG rush on this map in the new meta. So, okay, Smurf going for tech sprays to defend the air more, probably because some people like to hook round 23 and it would be exploited sending a lot of fast gun on BFBs. Smurf getting up to second ring of fire, that's easy. Okay, here's the rush. BFBs. Some BFBs, Smurf probably gonna hook them all, or maybe not all. Okay, he's running out of money right now, and those are actually quite a lot of Whoa, those are a lot of BFBs. So Smurf decided to go further away for hooking. BFBs look to break down, but nothing really special going on. Alice going for even more Moabs. Smurf selling his tech sprays to afford those hook downs. Going for another Sabo, those are the 2 Moabs left. And Smurf going for the counter right now, that's gonna be the GG, because Smurf has the infrastructure to defend this. Alice, what's he gonna do? Is he going for a Maelstrom? Because Alice might be able to defend this. He's going to sell this. All of his towers going for the Maelstrom. It's 2 Moabs. Is it gonna be enough? We can see that it's actually enough. So Smurf going for the all and camo pinks, hard encounter, and that's gonna be the GG for Alice. So not really much to say about this game. A good BFB rush, but I think the ice tower is just not really viable here, and it's easy to defend when you go balloon income versus balloon income. I think Ninja Q should just make farms available for this map, just make a farm placeable on one of the ice rocks, and then I think we have a new meta on this map. But without further joking, we should get into the last game, because that's gonna be probably the deciding factor. It's 2-2 right now in the score, and let's see which will be the last map. Okay, so getting into the 5th game, we can see it's indoor pools. Hope I get lucky. So interesting decision. Indoor pools, definitely one of my favorite maps back in season 7, because it was a very short map. Anything could happen. It's kind of a luck based but also a skill based map. Back in season 7, round 15 was very hot. But if you went past round 15, then this map was just incredible. No high farm economy by either players, so it was based on some city rushes and some city defending, but very enjoyable at all. With the low Sabo, you would just go for a Sabo anytime to defend rushes, so that's not the case anymore, obviously, with the balance patch of sabotage supply lines. So let's actually discuss the strategy for this map for some newer players. So you just start off with a ninja, and you start off with a tech spray in the positions you see that both players have right now. Then at the beginning you can go for 2 or 3 red balloons and a space blue, 3 red balloons and space blue, and you go to like 260 economy, and then you can afford the tech spray in the next boost, and you won't leak too many lives, but you at the same time harass and going sort of max economy. So for round 4 you can go for a little bit of layering, like 2 or 3 2 reds I think, and 3 blues, and then some pinks. And the most effective thing about layering on this map is when you have the AI balloons mixed in, because the AI balloons are either going to leak or they are going to cause your Seeking Shuriken to do some very weird stuff. You can see that the second circuit is sometimes just circling around balloons without actually moving on to the next balloon. It's a very weird upgrade. Smurf going for a second tech shooter, going for 0-0, and as does Alliswell, because you're actually going to leak a lot to this layering. So here we can see Smurf actually getting the 2-0 tech sprayer. Smart decision, because you don't want to get too low on lives. That makes you very vulnerable to AI and around 15 exploits and such. Especially when you don't have a lot of farm economy, it's going to be very problematic. So Alice is going for a couple of layering, some red balloons, blue balloons, and then green balloons to start off the rush. Smurf getting up the sprayer in time, and that's going to not cause a lot of leaks. So Smurf going for counter greens right now, which I think are timed very poorly. Alice is doing a better job going for the layering and then going to actually harass during the round. And when you harass during the round, then your ninja is going to either chase for the AI balloons or the sand balloons, and then you will leak actually kind of a lot. So I think that Alice has the upper hand right now because he has more economy, and Alice keeps on sending blacks, which I don't think is a good decision. Alice going not to get up the ring of fire by that rush. Smurf getting up that ring of fire by selling his sprayer, and also leaking down to 60 lives, which is going to pull him at a disadvantage for the more later game. Wait, what? What? No, Alice was not AFK. Well, I was like, couldn't afford. Yeah, I thought the same. He couldn't just afford. So yeah, interesting. So there we go. Both having the farm right now, and it's because they win a lot of balloon income. They won't have a lot of farm economy, and I would definitely like to have enough farms to get up Maelstrom for around 13 without needing to sell your Ring of Fire. So Alice going for some white balloons, and Smurf getting up a bit late at 0-0 Ninja. At 0-0 Ninja strong really helps you to just kill the AI balloon, or AI balloon is much easier. It's the same concept as on maps like Zen Garden, when you just get 0-0 Ninja, so it pops the slow balloons, goes for then you get pinks, and when the pinks get in range of the Ring of Fire, they will be melted down better, instead of slow balloons, and then the pinks come out and they run away very fast. So both players, I think, have a 1-3 mortar. Okay, so is there any rush coming? No, there's no rush coming right now. So this is going to be interesting. We see very low farm economy and actually very low farms on both players. So he's going to be the rush. That's a region Rainbow Rush. Smurf could afford that blade Maelstrom, but there's a counter rod, and they are both going to send the region Rainbow Rush. Smurf going to micro his mortar, and Alice is not going to do anything. He's going to micro his mortar. He's leaking a lot of lives, and Alice actually losing that game because Smurf was actually left behind with 1 life. I'm not sure what actually happened right there, because I saw Smurf defended that region Rainbow Rush like a boss, just having that mortar chilling there and then microing it very easily. And Smurf actually went for a counter rush and layered with camo pinks. Alice actually is microing his mortar very effectively as well to catch some leaks. After Alice would have hauled off with that mortar, but I'm not sure where Smurf actually leaked to that game, because I think it were the AI balloons then, because the region Rainbow Rush didn't do anything. And Alice, so I don't know, you will probably get to see the replay, I don't, but that's actually 3-2 very close victory for Smurfblade on Alliswell. Very great series overall to commentate, really enjoyed it, and I have nothing more to say than I hope you enjoyed this commentary as well. If you want to stick around on this channel to see more series, then be sure to subscribe, share it on Discord or other friends. Please spread the word of the Bloons King of the Hill, would mean a lot to us as a community. If you want to join King of the Hill, be sure to check out the Discord and the links in the description. And there's nothing more to say then. I hope to see you guys back in another episode of Bloons King of the Hill.